118. We're going to sing. Tammy, you're going to keep Josiah in here for a little while and see how long he'll stay. And that's it. Okay. Page 118. Here we go. There's a land that is fairer than day, and by faith we can see it afar. For the Father waits over the way to prepare us a dwelling place there. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. We shall sing on that beautiful shore the melodious songs of the blessed, and our spirits shall sorrow no more. Not a sigh for the blessing of rest. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. To our bountiful Father above, we will offer the tribute of praise for the glorious gift of His love and the blessing that hallow our days. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. In the sweet by and by, we shall meet on that beautiful shore. Thank you. Have a seat. Let's go to the Lord in prayer. David Underwood had a prayer request for Mr. Pritt. What was his first name? Floyd Pritt. Okay. He's in bad shape. Keep him in your prayers. So anybody else with a spoken for us? Pray for Bruce. We didn't get any update today, did we? He was supposed to come home today, but David said Patty's car wasn't at the house when he went up to feed his cow. So maybe he didn't get to come home yet. Maybe we'll get home later today. Okay, but even when he comes home, we're supposed to be on oxygen today. So we're trying to wean him off that. So continue to pray for Bruce for healing. Anyone else? Any unspoken requests? Something you want to pray about, not mentioned out loud? All right, let's go to the Lord in prayer. Charlie, will you lead some prayer? Amen. In Charlie's prayer, I had a teacher one time. Brother Harris he was actually a physical discipline teacher at House Anderson College, and he said he'd asked somebody to pray, and then one time after prayer, he said, "What'd you do during the prayer?" Your mind wandered to. Were you praying when he was praying? When the brother was praying? And so I pray about things. When I pray, so I start off in prayer, but then if I get done praying because I want to hear what someone else is praying for, and Charlie, be an example, being a light to other people when he's out, especially to his family. And if you'll pray this prayer every day, God will answer this prayer. And I've done this for years. I've probably almost 40 years. Lord, lead me to help those whom Jesus would help if he were in my shoes this morning, and ask him to guide you. Help me be a witness to a lost person today. And most of you are in here this morning. I talked about the couple that stopped at our house yesterday. If you'll pray that prayer, he'll answer that prayer. Either you go out on specifically. I like going door to door on visitation, but it's kind of funny. Like yesterday, they had all stuff going on, and he brought them to us. Okay. Another guy stopped today. I was working outside this afternoon, and I went home from church 10 minutes, and the neighbor, I've been to the house several times to witness to them and invite them to church. And yeah, we're saved, but we're busy. This kind of answers. And we need to get our kids in church. And so anyway, if you'll pray that prayer, he'll let those people stop. Okay? And I don't go, like yesterday, those people, someone said, go to the preacher's house and told them where I live. You need money. You need money, you need food. Go see this preacher down here. So that's what happened. Some of you weren't in here for Sunday school. I'll give that story. Anyway, if you ask, God will answer that prayer and lead you that way. Okay? Let's see. If you have not signed up for your Easter pictures, make sure you sign up for your Easter pictures. So Tracy and Rebecca will be taking the pictures. That's on April 6th and April 7th, and the sign-up sheets in the back. There's still some open spaces for Saturday, and I think they're trying to get done early on Sunday. Is that right, Rebecca? It looks like there's not. I don't know how late you're going to go. Okay, but sign up for that. And then Daughters of the King conference at Maranatha on Sunday, April 6th, from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And you're welcome. All ladies are welcome to go to that if you'll sign up for that. Wednesday, April 17th is the Children's and Teens Easter Party and store here at the Wednesday night class, and then we will have Easter egg hunt at our house unless somebody else wants to have it at their house. Once someone volunteered to have the Easter egg hunt at their house, let us know. But it's kind of funny. We've had it there almost every year since we started the church, and except for one or two times we had it at different places. And then when PR's mom, when Debbie came for the first time, first Easter, I guess you remember a year ago, she was here 2 years ago. She said she remembers coming to our house for Easter egg hunt when she was a little kid. And I said, I wasn't there at the time. She's older. Yeah. So it's Eddie. I guess my grandmother had the Easter egg hunt. Okay. Anybody got testimony before we get into the scriptures? Oh, wait a minute. We need to take up offering, don't we? Mark, you can come take up offering. Someone back in the window tell me.
Father, we thank you, Lord, tonight. We thank you, Father, for the blessings of this day, God. And thank you, Lord, for blessing the offering and take it up. Thank you, Lord, for providing it for us. Pray, God, that you will help us throughout the week. Pray, honor you, Lord, you.
Anybody got testimony before we go any further? We'll praise God for something He's done for you through you this week. That's good. Anybody else? Mhm. Right. The situation's changed. Mhm. Right. Mhm. You have it. It's available. We have it, but it's manifested in different ways to every one of us. That faith that we have is manifested in different. God gives us a measure. Scripture says, scripturally, a measure of faith, or it gives everyone a measure of faith, but it's manifested in different ways. I saw something, Joey's testimony this morning about the family that lost a child, but then he's working at their house and there's joy. They're overflowed with joy, even though they've lost a child, and they have 4 other children, but they still have this. They still have that joy that comes within. It's tremendous. All right, anybody else? Charlie?
People you talk about when you were a kid, they just get up and say the same thing all the time. It's not that great.
Mhm. Right. Right. Mhm. Right. 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 Mhm. Mhm. Yeah. Got a crowd. That's why. That's Charlie. You got an extra one there. All right, anyone else? Go to Ruth chapter 2 then. No, Ruth chapter 3. Enjoy the testimonies tonight. Ruth chapter 3. We know the story. We've gone over the book of Ruth. We've gone over the first couple of chapters last 3 weeks. And Ruth is with Naomi. They're back in Bethlehem, Judah. Naomi left Bethlehem with her husband and 2 sons, and the husband and 2 sons died, but the 2 sons had gotten married and that before they died, and then so Ruth came back with Naomi to she's a Moabite. She came back to Bethlehem, Judah. All right, here we go. Ruth chapter 3. In chapter 2, we saw where Ruth went out and she worked in the fields all day, and she gleaned in the fields, and she came back with a great harvest, and she met Boaz in the field, who was a distant relative of theirs, and she told Naomi about her meeting of Boaz, and now Naomi's going to instructions. Ruth chapter 3, verse 1. Then Naomi, her mother-in-law, said unto her, My daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself therefore, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man, till he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie. And thou shalt go in and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me I will do. I'm just going to continue reading part of the story just for you, farther than what I planned. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me I will do. And she went and lay down. And she went down to the floor, and did according to all that her mother-in-law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet, and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid, and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. Can you imagine how shocking that would be? You weren't expecting that. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thine handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thine handmaid, for thou art near kinsman. And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, insomuch as thou followest not that young man, whether poor or rich. And now, my daughter, fear not, for I will do thee all that thou requirest, for all the city of my people doth know that thou art a virgin. Stop reading right there. Thank you, Lord, for your word. I pray you'll bless the preaching of your word for the next few minutes. In Jesus' name we ask. Amen. Ruth comes back from her first day of work. She's worked in the field. She comes back with a big harvest of grain, and Boaz made sure, we talked on that last week, and she made sure she had plenty. She came back home, and Naomi said, Where'd you go? Naomi, and Ruth told her, and he said, You gotta make sure he doesn't find you working anywhere else. But this is what I want you to do. I want you to go down to where they're working, because they're winnowing. There's a view in Sunday school class a couple months ago. PR taught not just necessarily a young man. But Naomi said in the morning, he's not going to sleep. He's not going to sleep till this is taken care of. He's not going to rest until this is taken. So he's there first thing in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning when everyone's coming in town. He's sitting at the gate. And for the rest of the story, we'll go into the kinsman and redeemer story. He's going to be there at the gate when the brother that is next in line that has the legal process closer to them that can redeem the property and redeem Ruth, and raise up a son to his brother. The next in line will come in that morning, and Boaz is going to take care of it that morning. And he will take care of it. Matter of fact, he'll take care of it that very day. Here's a good question for you. When I read through this story, I guess my mind looks at things a different way. When she said he will not be at rest until he finishes the thing this day, it's going to be taken care of today. He's not going to put it off. It's not going to be something he's going to do 6 months from now. He's not going to sleep until this is taken care of. I don't know if y'all remember 20 years ago there's a Disney commercial, and the kids are supposed to be going to Disney World next day, and to a little brother and little sister or whatever, and you know, you sleep. And one of them says, I'm too excited to sleep, you know, because they're going to Disney World the next day. They're up all night. Okay, we're not looking at something we're not talking about something excited about the next day, the field trip or the thing. Dave and I are going to a horse sale, and I can't wait to go to the horse sale. I'm going to be up all night the night before, and we've done that. We stay up all night just to get. We left here almost midnight one night to go to a horse sale, just because we're excited. We can't wait to then start till 6. But okay, Miss Yoder's opens at 6, and we'll be there. We'll get there at 3 a.m. Okay, okay. It's not about being excited about it. It's something about it's on your mind. You can't sleep. On your mind, you're not going to let it rest. You can't rest until it's taken care of. That's what she said. Naomi said, the man will rest until he finished the thing this day. There are things that weigh on us. Now, there are good things we're excited about. I get excited about stuff. Tammy says a lot of times we'll go on vacation, we might as well leave after work. If we're going to leave on Saturday morning, go on vacation, we might as well just leave after work on Friday because I'm not going to sleep Friday night. Okay? I'm excited. I'm ready to go. Maybe if I've driven 15 hours, I've done this. Driven 15 hours, get back home, pack the car, and let's go. Okay? We'll head to Florida. Okay? You mean you actually do? Well, get as far as we can. Okay? I'm going. I can't wait. Okay? Now, there are things that we get excited about, and we can't wait till that thing happens. Okay? There are other things that weigh on us. We can't wait till this thing's taken care of. Got to get this fixed. Okay? What weighs on you? Something you must get done. You have to get this. It's a project. It's a health test. Whatever it is. Think about this virtuous woman. Boaz probably up all night thinking about this woman laying at his feet. She was a virtuous woman. He knew that. Think about her choices in her life, where she come from out of Moab, a heathen land with heathen people, and her choice to serve God and choice to serve with Naomi and take care of her mother-in-law. And him thinking about it, what do I got to do? I've got to take care of this thing. What is the right thing to do, the best thing to do? And there's a brother between me and him that we've got to take care of that one first. What's the end result going to be? And this is weighing over in his mind over and over all night long. There are days that I cannot rest. I'll be honest about this. I'm honest about everything, I guess. There are days I cannot rest. My mind's on something, and I can't stop. There are nights that I'm up almost all night long because I'm thinking about something. There's a burden. There's a heartache. There's something going on that I can't fix. And I got to get something fixed. I got to see somebody tomorrow. I got to take care of this thing tomorrow. I got to make that phone call tomorrow. Hopefully the person will answer my phone, or they'll be at the house when I get there. Hopefully I can take care of this issue tomorrow, whether I can or not. There are days I cannot rest, or nights that I can't sleep. It's not the same for everybody. Everyone has different things that weigh on them. But what weighs on you? Is it people? There's times when there's been financial situations in our life, in our personal life, that I signed a paper for $400,000 on a loan for work one time. That it was going to make me a business partner and owner of our company. And I'm glad when that finally got out of that deal, and it did not cost me everything that I had. It could have been $400 profit for me to put in the bank eventually. That was my retirement plan with my boss's retirement plan for 15 years with me. But it worked out. It weighed on me to the point that I couldn't sleep at night. This debt was over my head. My boss was sick. We were losing money, and our customers were leaving, running off like rats getting off a ship, because we couldn't get our products taken care of because everyone was sick. He was sick. It was bad. It was keeping me up at night. Okay, well, John, it's just finance. It's just money. Yeah, just money. It's $400,000 worth of money with my name on the bill. Have you done that? Yeah, for days. Okay, obviously it has been a while since I fasted any length of time. But the truth is, there's days that I just don't eat because it bothers me. Okay, well, John, just certain types of food bothers you? No, I can eat anything. Okay, right? Other than ice cream right before bed. But the truth is, there's times that it's okay. Pass on. That's the best time to fast, when something bothers you so you don't eat. Okay? Jesus went and prayed all night. And I know other people personally that I've known that have prayed all night to get an answer. They stayed up all night because their kid was out and not home. They stayed up all night praying because there was a need. Some of you had somebody in the hospital that you stayed up all night praying. The night that Bruce stayed his first night in ICU, I stopped by. I said, was a Wednesday night. It was Wednesday night. His first night in ICU, and I went to the hospital, and Patty had just left, and I was trying to find his ICU room. I couldn't find it, so I called Patty, and she said, I just got on the interstate on my way home. The nurse said, try to go home and rest. Like that's really going to happen, right? When he's in ICU with the tube down his throat. You think, try to go home and rest. Okay, we did. Right? Okay? As we mentioned this morning, prayer saying, God, I don't have an answer, but I know you do. Whatever the situation is, you got the answer for it. Fast and ask somebody else to fast. If you're not sure you can do it by yourself or you won't do it, can't do it by yourself, just fast. If you'll ask somebody else to fast, I've fasted with other people before. I'll use this illustration since Mark and Sue are here. Mark got saved. Sue didn't get saved. Chris was already saved. Chris got saved first time he was here. But Mark got mad. Sue got mad at something. I don't know, something I said, or I don't know what it was. I said, Dave said, somebody got mad. Sue got upset, so I'm not coming back to church anymore, and she wasn't saved yet. And Chris came to me because I taught teenagers on fasting, and I said, he came to me and said, Brother John, you taught us on fasting. Will you fast and pray with me till Mom comes back to church? Yeah. But, well, at the first time we fasted, good, that you didn't know about, but was the first time was you were mad you weren't going to come back. He said, Mom's not going to come back. This is on a Sunday morning. I said, Chris, I'll fast with you as long as you want to fast, but here's the deal. I said, we went through this because your mom can't know you're fasting. She's really going to be mad because she thinks we're nuts anyway. And you have to eat your evening meal. Every evening meal you'll have to eat because she gives you lunch money for school. You can keep it in your pocket if you want to, but you got to take the money and don't just leave it on the table. And so she can't know that you're fasting during the day. Look, I would do that with anybody else in the room. If someone says, Brother John, will you fast with me on this matter? I said, yeah. Does it really matter, Brother John? If you cannot rest until you get an answer, how long is it going to take? How long will it take? Okay? Now, Boaz is going to get his answer that morning, which is good, right? He didn't rest that night. He's not going to rest. And Naomi said, the man will not be in rest until he had finished the thing this day. Here's the next thing. Trust God for the outcome, no matter what the outcome is. Because a lot of times we pray about something God didn't give us our will. He gives us His will. His will is always better than our will. Just keep fasting if you need to fast. Keep it. But then whatever, trust Him for that. God always gives His best to those who leave the choices up to Him. And He knows what we need before we ask. He knows what we need, and He doesn't have to worry about. He doesn't stay up at night worried about stuff like we stay up at night worried about stuff. He doesn't get sick to his stomach trying to thinking about stuff the way we get sick to our stomach thinking about stuff, worried about the situation, what the outcome is. He already knows the answer. Next thing, Boaz in the morning, first thing in the morning, he's at the gate of the city waiting for his brother to come in, or his cousin, or whoever it is, the next of kin to Elimelech. He's at the gate of the city. Do all that you are supposed to do. There's a lot of people that I've heard people tell me this, that they sit down and they say, let go and let God. Right? You've heard that statement, right? Most people I've ever heard say that are people sit on the sidelines of life, not serving God in any capacity. Okay? Most people that I've heard say that to me are people that don't even go to church. Let go and let God. I said, well, yeah, but a lot of times what's He gives you you're supposed to be doing? Once He gives you a job to do and you get your prayers answered, it's contingent on you supposed to be doing. It's conditional promises over and over throughout the scriptures. Call unto me and I will answer thee. You don't call on Him, He's not going to answer. In Philippians, where God says, Paul was writing to the church and said, my God shall supply all your needs according to His riches and glory. He's writing to a church, if you read the verses before that have been a giving church. And he said, because you were giving, God's going to overload you with the giving back to you. But a lot of times people say, well, I'll just trust God for the outcome and make sure you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. Within the boundaries of what's right and wrong, Boaz is at the gate of the city the first thing in the morning. Within the boundaries of what you're supposed to be doing, do what's right. 1 Peter chapter 1, verse 7 says this, that the trial of your faith, being much more precious than of gold that perishes, though it be tried with fire, might be found unto the praise and honor and glory at the appearing of Jesus Christ. And God says, I will put you through this trial, and I will keep you up all night. This thing's going to eat at your stomach so you can't eat, or it's going to bother you so you can't sleep. Brother Edwards is here last summer. I was looking at the letters on the missionary letters on the wall back here this morning, and again this evening. I was thinking of Brother Edwards, and I was thinking about the Westbrook family and different things. Brother Edwards, this past summer, and 5 years ago, 10 years ago, him and another man, him and his guide, went into the jungle to go to a tribe that no one had ever been to. No one had ever taken the gospel to this other tribe before, and they got lost for weeks. Okay, lost. I mean, nobody knew where they were. Sherry, back at their base camp, had email, and she was sending out prayer requests to everybody via email, and daily posts of saying, keep him in the prayers. Nobody's heard from him. Okay, nobody has seen him. I wonder how much she slept during that time period. Okay, wonder how much she fasted during that time period, waiting for her husband who's in the jungle to come back. Okay, I read missionary letters this evening from Mrs. Emerson. We started Rock of Ages Prison Ministry. We started supporting Mr. and Mrs. Emerson and as missionaries, and he died. So we still support her. She's a missionary still. She's still serving, okay, but not in the same capacity as her and her husband were serving together. I wonder how many nights she has up all night. Well, the bill's going to get paid, okay? Everything's going to be taken care of. Do all that you're supposed to do, because God put us through this trial. Boaz says, what's the steps I'm supposed to take? Be there in the morning. He's up all night. God answers him. I think about Daniel and the lion's den. Daniel probably slept like a baby. Nebuchadnezzar was up all night because he couldn't sleep. Nebuchadnezzar's one who's put him in. I thought about Jacob. I mentioned this morning in the message about him wrestling with God all night till he got an answer. I thought about Paul and Apostle Paul on a ship. He's a prisoner bound. And he's on a ship, and they're in a storm, and they don't see the sun for several days because of the storm, and they're fasting and praying. And finally, he stands up amongst everybody and says, "Okay, let's end this fast, people. Eat well, because we're going to jump in the water in a few minutes. Okay, but God's told me we're all going to live. Okay, on broken boards or whatever, we're going to float in." And they saw a little bit of light. They saw the shore, and they crashed the boat, and everybody made it. Okay, do all you're supposed to do. For Boaz, he's not going to rest because he knows Ruth is waiting for him, willing to do whatever he's supposed to do. She's willing to do whatever he asks. He's willing to do whatever God wants him to do. What keeps you up at night? What bothers you so much you can't eat? Seek his will and make sure you're doing what you're supposed to do. Let's pray. Thank you, Lord, for loving us. Thank you for giving us to us. Help us be the Christians we want to be. We want to bring honor and glory to you. We're thankful for the trials. We don't see it at the time that we're thankful for the trials, but we are thankful for the trials you give us. We know you have a purpose, and you always work your will for us. Use us, please, for your glory. Use our church family in a mighty way. In Jesus' name we ask, amen. So I'll stand to sing. Page 377. Page 377. Where he leads me. Sing one verse. I can hear my Savior calling. I can hear my Savior calling. I can hear my Savior calling. Take thy cross and follow me. Where he leads me, I will follow. Where he leads me, I will follow. Where he leads me, I will follow. I'll go with him all the way. Sing the next second verse. Okay? Kind of goes along with the message. I'll go with him through the garden. That's when you pray, not will, but thine. I'll go with him through the garden. I'll go with him through the garden. I'll go with him all the way. Where he leads me, I will follow. Where he leads me, I will follow. Where He leads me, I will follow. I'll go with him all the way. Marlon, you dismissed. Amen. Thanks for coming out tonight.